Save the city or catch your greatest enemy. You can't do both.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
You can't do both, I said.
No, I mean the other thing.
Save the city or catch your greatest enemy?
You think you're my greatest enemy?
Yes! You're obsessed with me!
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are! Who else drives you?
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. It's time to talk about some DC Comics solicitations for August 2021. The smell of Batman is in the air. Lots of Batman. There's also a Suicide Squad movie coming out that month, so they loaded up the front of it. It's all Suicide Squad graphic novels that they are hyping up to coincide with the release. Something that Marvel and DC really haven't been able to capitalize on in the past, so it's probably a smart thing. But there's a lot of Suicide Squad and Batman coming in the month of August 2021. I'm not going to get into it too deep. I will say this. Of the 70 new comic books, and that's periodic floppy type comics, 17 are fronted by Batman, so 24%. 32 are fronted by Batman and Batman associated characters. So that's 46%. So almost a majority of the entire DC Comics line are going to be fronted by Batman associated characters, just a couple of percent off. If they had one or two more titles, it would be a majority. That's crazy. I do talk about that later today. Perch is going to join me, and we're going to have an in-depth discussion about bat fatigue. Can you have too many Batman comics in a given month? He has some interesting things to say about that. But for now, let's get into these solicitations and talk about all the wonderful things that are coming out in DC Comics. Expect a lot of $5 comic books, lots of Batman titles, and, you know, it is what it is, folks. Now let's get into the details. The first thing that they're promoting is Batman the World, that hardcover graphic novel that's an anthology. Joe and I already talked about it earlier. And then the first actual comic book, we got Batman Fear State Alpha #1. For such a big event, not the greatest covers, although this one by Francesco Mattina is pretty crazy. I guess it's going to be a foil cover variant. James Tynion and Riccardo Federici. The event over a year in the making begins. Fear State settles upon Gotham City and no one is safe. Overwhelmed by the dual threat of Scarecrow and Peacekeeper 1, Batman and his allies have been one step behind since the events of Infinite Frontier #0, and with the arrival of a mysterious anti-Oracle and the return of Poison Ivy, Batman might have more than he can handle. There you go. The big horror-themed Batman event kicks off with Batman Fear State Alpha #1. Also, we have I Am Batman #0. This is also going to tie in with Fear State. I'm told there's going to be a lot of new one-shots and miniseries tying into Fear State when we get to September. I don't have anything against Travel Foreman, but this cover is quite boring. Hardware Season 1 #0, or I'm sorry, Season 1 #1. This is the one milestone comic I'm going to read because I think I'm going to like it. Brandon Thomas of, what's he doing? Excellence. He's also got a lot of work going on, getting more work on DC Comics at least. Dennis Cowan and Bill Sienkiewicz on art. This is the character as far as milestone that they're releasing that I'm the least interested in. Hardware, I'm more interested in Icon, and I'm more interested in Static. But this one has the creative team that I think might bring it home. So this is the one I'm going to be reading. If there's a milestone comic that you want to throw some money down and see if it's good, this is the one I suggest. And Lock and Key Sandman Universe, Hell and Gone #2. Joe Hill, Gabriel Rodriguez. Joe Hill, obviously the son of, oh my goodness, horror legend Stephen King. Remember he had that whole Hill House Comics line that they were going to be running with? Feels like that was a while ago. $7 for 48 pages, DC Black Label. Doesn't even say it's Prestige Plus format. It's just $7 for 48 pages. That is an expensive comic book. One shot. Batman 89 #1. So this is something I wasn't really interested in when they announced the Batman 89, Superman 78. But now that I'm seeing Billy D. Williams as Two-Face on the cover, my mind has been changed. And we got Sam Hamm, I believe he's the screenwriter for the original Batman movie that Tim Burton directed back in 1989. Joe Quinones should be fabulous. And it's only $4. Man, they really love us. I hadn't planned on it, but now that I see the cover, I'm doing it. Superman 78, Robert Venditti. This is something that I wouldn't read if it wasn't Robert Venditti. I personally don't really like the Superman movies. Any of them. I don't like Man of Steel. And I don't like the original Superman movies, especially the very first one. I do like Superman 2, but that's mostly because of Terrence Stamp as Zod. Otherwise, I don't particularly think those are great Superman movies. But I'm going to read this because it's Robert Venditti, my favorite writer. And as far as I know, that's the only thing he's got planned for DC Comics anytime soon. Superman versus Lobo #1, Tim Seeley, Mirka Andolfo. I talked about this on the channel earlier. $7. And see, this one is Prestige Plus format. At least it's bigger than that other one. It doesn't even say that. So, I don't know. This is a definite maybe. I'll read the first issue and see how it goes. It's too expensive to commit to it long term. Then we got the Batman Secret Files Clown Hunter, Ed Brisson. I'm a big Ed Brisson fan. He did a lot of really good work on X-Men. He also he wrote a pretty damn good Ghost Rider. Unfortunately, that was cut short. But I'm not a fan of Clown Hunter. And I don't think I like Ed Brisson enough to buy that. The Joker Presents a Puzzle Box #1. I can't imagine anything more boring than Matthew Rosenberg on a Joker book about him being interviewed about a crime or something. I imagine a lot of people will be very excited about this one. $5 comic. Ooh, cardstock variants. $2 more this time. Matthew Rosenberg. Nah, I'll be all right. Pennyworth #1. This is the sequel to the TV show that's, I guess, is it associated with the movie or is there just a Pennyworth TV show? I don't know. Scott Bryan Wilson, Juan Gideon. This one's probably Skip Rudy as well. Aquaman 80th Anniversary Special #1. Definitely be checking this one out. I like Aquaman. The Dan Abnett run that started in DC Rebirth was fantastic. Of course, it was torpedoed almost immediately upon Kelly Sue DeConnick's arrival on the title. We've got Dan Jurgens, Jeff Johns, Brandon Thomas, Chuck Brown, Stephanie Phillips, Michael Moricci, Marguerite Bennett, Dan Waters, Jeff Parker, Sean Aldridge, Francis Bonaparte. Pretty disappointing not to see Dan Abnett there, to be completely honest, since he had such a great run on the character. $10. They're all $10. No longer $8 anymore. Batman Superman 2021 Annual #1. This is a 5-week month. Apparently there are 5 Tuesdays in August. So that means there are going to be annuals. Gene Yang's Batman Superman. I know a lot of people have enjoyed it. It hasn't really been my cup of tea so far. $6. Whew, that's expensive. That is an expensive comic book. And why even have an annual if it's just going to tie into the story that you're telling in the regular series? Shouldn't this be an opportunity to maybe put somebody else on there and let them get their spin on Batman, Superman, or maybe finish something up that was started a while back, or I don't know, something besides what we're reading in Batman, Superman? Otherwise, this should just be a Batman, Superman issue. That's my take. Green Lantern 2021 Annual. Ryan Cady, Sammy Bosry. Once an agoraphobic, scared to even leave a room, Jessica Cruz overcame her fear to become a Green Lantern and face the darkest and deadliest threats in the universe. But now, Jessica's gone from overcoming fear to using it as a weapon. When Yellow Lanterns attacked the Green Lantern sector house, she took refuge in when the central power battery was destroyed. Yeah, that doesn't work. Jessica turned the tables on them, getting them something to be afraid of as she beat them one by one. But now that she's been offered a place in the Sinestro Corps, will she accept? I really wish they had an actual good writer on this. It's not like we get enough Jessica Cruz stories. You couldn't put somebody with a little bit of cachet or history with the character. But $6. I really like Jessica Cruz. I'll check it out. Harley Quinn 2021 Annual #1. Stephanie Phillips, the creator of the other one. And there you go. All right. I just said, hey, can we get new writers? And we had new writers. I shit all over. But I'm complicated, folks. Suicide Squad 2021 Annual. The same creator, Robbie Thompson. Dexter Soy. I really like his art, but I'm not reading Suicide Squad. Midnighter Annual. Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad. $6. Yeah, I'm going to skip all these except for the Jess Cruz. It's like that's a lot of money. And I'll probably, now that I think about it, I'm skipping the Jess Cruz one too. $6 for an unknown entity on a character I like. It's probably too much. Comics ain't cheap, folks. We got some Suicide Squad. There's a lot of Suicide Squad stuff being released because of the movie. So I have a 5, soon to be 6-year-old, and this Batman, Robin, and Howard book looks like he would probably like it. Like, this is something, if I can get my hands on this one, I will buy it for the boy. He would like that one. he would think that's funny. And $10 for 160 pages. You can't beat that. Well, I mean, you can beat that by buying manga or Dogman, but you can't beat it at DC Comics or Marvel. How's that? Let me clarify that. This is all the free comic book day stuff. Now let's get into Action Comics 1034. I am definitely on board with the Philip Kennedy Johnson, Daniel Samperi Action Comics. It sucks that it's $5 and you're paying for this extra Becky Clune and Michael Conrad stuff that you don't want. And it finishes with the Midnighter Annual. Okay. The Warzoons make their way to the doorstep of the Fortress of Solitude, and only Lois Lane and the alien girl Thala are there to defend it. That's because Superman is halfway around the world trying to stop the U.S. from declaring war on Atlantis. The Man of Steel must make a tough choice, and odds are no one walks away happy. Yeah, I'm definitely reading this one. I wish they would just cut out the backup story and let me pay $4 for the comic book I actually want. That's how I feel about that. Batman 111. We into Fear State yet? No, I think Batman Fear State doesn't really start until September, except for that Fear State Alpha. Jorge Jimenez, James Tynan, everybody's loving this. Don't like the Magistrate. Don't really like where this is going. Oh, Mayor Nakano, Magistrate. Batman Reptilian number 3. I will definitely be buying this one. Garth Ennis and Liam Sharp on a comic book together. That is a beautiful, disgusting painted cover. It got the Riddler. It got the Penguin. It got Deadshot, Hugo Strange, Two-Face, Tweedledee, and Tweedledum. It has left carnage in its wake as it moves through Gotham's villainous underworld, and Batman finds himself vexed by one very important question: just what on earth is it? Now the Dark Knight's search for clues has him tracking the Joker. But wouldn't it be funny if the mysterious creature stalking Gotham got the Clown Prince of Crime first? There you go. So Batman is going to save Joker from whatever this reptilian thing is. $5, of course. This is DC Black Label. Listen, if you're going to charge me $5, put Garth Ennis and Liam Sharp on the book. Batman Adventures, The Adventures Continue Season 2. I know a lot of people are really enjoying this one. We got Ty Templeton on art, so that'll be excellent. Paul Dini on a Batman book, never go wrong. And it's only $4. Batman Urban Legends number 6. This will be my jumping off point, likely, because the Chip Zdarsky, Eddie Barrows Red Hood cheer story concludes here. I'm not going to read the solicitations the last time I got spoiled. Batman Catwoman number 7. I am reading this because I don't like myself. It has been awful so far. Tom King has lost the script. I made a video about it earlier this week. And at this point, it's like looking at a car wreck. You can't turn away. The art's beautiful, but man, that book sucks. Batman Superman 21. Gene Yang, Ivan Rice. That's a really good artist. Blue and Gold number 2. I'm not certain how to feel about Dan Jurgens, Ryan Sook on a Booster Gold Blue Beetle book. I might read it. Catwoman 34. Ram V is definitely one of the hotter writers at DC Comics. He's doing an excellent Catwoman. Let's see how long he can actually keep me on here. But this word right here is going to make me turn off all of the ongoing Batman titles. I'm glad Nightwing is still in Bloodhaven because I am sick to death of the Magistrate. I do not find it the least bit compelling or interesting. Challenge of the Super Sons. Sounds like this is the last ride for Peter Tomasi, at least in the meantime, at DC Comics. When he's done with this Challenge of the Super Sons, I think he might be gone. Don't quote me on that one, but that's what it sounded like. Max Rayner, Evan Stanley. You know, can't go wrong with Super Sons. Such a good team-up book. Checkmate number 3. I will be reading this out of morbid curiosity as well. The only reason that they're publishing this is because it was already paid for. If they could forget about it forever, I imagine they would. Brian Bendis basically wasting Alex Maleeva's excellent art as the super spies try to keep Leviathan from getting its hands on the Heroes Network. Lois Lane does her best to get to the bottom of the new truths in front of her. Meanwhile, her husband, the Man of Steel, has had just about enough of Leviathan. I've had enough of you, Leviathan. That's right, finally. The man behind the rise of Leviathan, Mark Shaw, and Superman clash. Wasn't that supposed to be the end of Leviathan? I've heard Crime Syndicate is really good. My good friend Gervain Dargan has told me I need to read this. Andy Schmidt was associated with that. What was that? Generations Shattered and Generations Forged. I've heard this is good. I should read it. I need to catch up on this one because Gervain never leads me wrong, and it's only $4. And this is the end of the miniseries. Crushing Lobo number 3. Is this a little too on the nose? I don't know. Is she so rebellious that she gets to tell the fans to F off? Is it cool? That's the question. Is that a cool cover? Does that make you want to, ooh, that Crush, she's such a rebel? Seems lame and stupid to me, but it's Mariko Tamaki. I really do like Crush, and I like Lobo. I like their 2-issue story arc they had in Teen Titans a while back. So it's something that I'm considering reading, but I probably won't. DC presents The Conjuring, The Lover, number 3. Couldn't be less interested. Detective Comics 1041. Is this Magistrate? We got Mariko Tamaki, Dan Mora as Gotham's Dark Knight of Vengeance. Batman is seen by many, mostly criminals, let's be honest, as judge, jury, and executioner of the city's vilest villains. That is a tongue twister. Why would they put those two words next to each other? Well, it's time for him to meet the jury. In a last-ditch effort to avenge his daughter's death, Mr. Worth is teamed with the Penguins' criminal empire, the Party Crashers gang, and the Falcone crime family to form the kind of villain team-up that would leave a boy wonder sweating in his boots. Countdown to Task Force Z is the backup story. Part 1. Great, there's more. Detective Comics 1042, Victor Bogdanovich. Wow. What a damn good artist he is. It's going to be more of that stuff. Okay. Future State Gotham number 4. Nah. I looked at the first issue. It was as bad as anticipated. Green Lantern number 5. This has been better than I figured. Jeffrey Thorne, Tom Rainey on art, Marco Santucci. It sucks that they keep moving the artist around. It gets frustrating after a while, and it sucks that it's $5. As Far Sector's Joe Mullins begins to investigate the suspects most likely responsible for the destruction of the Green Lantern Corps, she winds up face-to-face with one of its greatest enemies, Sinestro. Was this the former Green Lantern's plan all along? Did he destroy the Green Lantern's central power battery so his Sinestro Corps could take over? No, it's the new Guardian of Oa that was in charge that we'd never seen before. That's clearly the villain. Sorry if I spoiled that for anybody. Harley Quinn number 6. Icon and Rocket season 1 number 2. This is the comic that I thought I was going to be the most excited for. But then I read Reggie Hudlin's Milestone Reborn. And he does not get this character at all. I can't imagine anyone getting a character less. It was Tom King-esque. Let's put it that way. Tom King-esque as far as understanding a character. Brian Michael Bendis-esque. I'm throwing him in that territory. That's how bad I anticipate this being. Doug Braithwaite, great artist. Infinite Frontier number 4, $6 or $5. $6. Josh Williamson, he's one of the better writers, and a bunch of different artists. Monaco, Paul Pelletier, Jesus Marino. We'll see about that. I do like Roy Harper, though. I don't know. Can Roy Harper convince me? Can Roy Harper part me in $5? Can he get that $5 out of my pocket? We'll see. Justice League has been as bad as you can imagine. It sucks that Ram V's JLD is in the backup with Sumit Kumar. Such a good creative tandem. And to be playing second fiddle to a washed-up has-been like Brian Michael Bendis it's an affront to quality comic books. Justice League Infinity number 2. If you like Justice League Unlimited, this is the book for you. Justice League Last Ride number 4. Definitely going to be reading this one. Chip Zdarsky, Miguel Mendoza. A lot of interesting things introduced in the very first issue, and we shall see what Chip does with it. I imagine it's going to be good. Legends of the Dark Knight number 4. Stephanie Phillips. Can we talk about Batman fatigue? Do we have Stephanie Phillips fatigue? Jesus, she's on everything. Why is she writing? Who said, you know what? I've always wanted Stephanie Phillips' take on the Dark Knight. Let's get her in a comic book about it. Jesus. At least it's only $4. I've heard Mr. Miracle, The Source of Freedom number 1 was awful. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to read it by Sunday, and if that's the case, I'm going to do a comic book roast with Pele on Monday with that. I'm going to make him read something that's awful. I like doing that. Nightwing 83. Nightwing has been very good. I've heard people like this cover. It's okay. This one's better. If you're going to buy a cover, get this one with the three-legged dog. That's way better. I'm enjoying this Nightwing. Tom Taylor's doing a pretty good job. The art by Bruno Redondo, I do not believe accentuates the character, but that's a lot of comic books these days, and it's only $4. Robin number 5. Josh Williamson, Gleb Melnikov. And it looks like we're getting that Robin's book we all wanted. They're all on the cover, except for Orphan. What did Orphan do? Like, what Cassandra Cain do to you, DC Comics? Why isn't she in there? Definitely read this one. This one's been pretty good so far. If you like Mortal Kombat. Rorschach number 11. I'm sticking with it through to the end. It's painful because it's so bad. Ruby Justice League, the book no one ever asked for. Scooby-Doo. Sensational Wonder Woman. This is that Cena Grace digital stuff. Shazam number 2. Tim Sheridan is on my never buy list. Static season 1 number 3. Vita Ayala. Suicide Squad. Robbie Thompson. Dexter Soy. Eduardo Pensica. I like the. I'm not. If I'm. This is the Suicide Squad for me. Suicide Squad. Get Joker number 2. Brian Azzarello, Alex Maleev, Matt Hollingsworth on art. Absolutely. $7. $7 heavy dollars. My goodness. After turning the tables on the Suicide Squad, the Joker gained control of the device that could detonate the bomb implanted in each of the members' heads. Now forced to do Joker's bidding, Red Hood, well, they just gave away the big turn from the first issue. Well, there you go. Whoops. That's why you don't read the solicitations. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, number 3. I read almost everything Tom King, but I'll probably pass on this one. He doesn't even have a good artist really on that one. Superman and the Authority, number 2. Definitely going to be checking that out, at least in the beginning. Grant Morrison, Michael Yannon. We'll see what he does there. Apparently it's coming out bi-weekly. Superman Red and Blue. Ooh, Tom King. Supposedly he wrote a good Superman comic once. Sophie Campbell has been is destroyed TMNT. You should watch my video if you haven't yet about how Jenica and Sophie Campbell destroyed TMNT sales. Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 2. We'll see if Tom Taylor has turned me off to this book by then. It's only $4. I do like Jonathan Kent, but Tom Taylor can be a bad writer sometimes. Teen Titans Academy, number 6. The book that put Tim Sheridan on the never buy list, despite the wonderful art by Rafa Sandoval. Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries. This is a definite read with the kid. Flash 773. It's just not my book, baby. The Joker number 6. I've been enjoying this one. It should be called Commissioner Gordon or ex-Commissioner Gordon, something like that, because it is all about him. The backup story is kind of sucked. Nice House on the Lake. Apparently the pre-orders on that have been very good. The art's going to be great. These two have worked together in the past, and I've loved them together. So, and it's only $4. Swamp Thing number 6. I guess this is a crossover with Suicide Squad. I don't know why there's a Swamp Thing Suicide Squad crossover. You got Peacekeeper on Suicide Squad, but Ram V, his Suicide Squad has paled in comparison to the Future State Suicide Squad that he did. But it's still, as far as the quality that DC's putting out right now, it stands out as pretty okay. Truth and Justice. I'm okay. Wonder Girl. Very disappointed in the very first issue. I'm going to stick with it because the art was so good, but that was plenty boring. The character in a comic book should do something. There should be resolution, or they should fail. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they should win if it's the end. None of that happened in this. It was just flying on a plane is not an accomplishment in a comic book. Wonder Woman 777. Apparently she's going to knock out a male Wonder Woman. That's an Instapass. Wonder Woman 778. Wonder Woman Black and Gold. Peter J. Tomasi, huh? Why don't they just give him the Wonder Woman book? That would be good. Ooh, look, it's AJ Lee from WWE fame. She's married to CM Punk. There you go. Steve Epting, that is a good artist. Why isn't he on the book? That would be great. That's it, folks. Lots of Batman comics, lots of $5 comics, lots of $7 comics. Jeez. They are really trying to put a dent in your wallet. Even more expensive than Marvel comics. we shall see. Not a lot to be extremely excited about, but there's enough good stuff happening at DC Comics right now that, I'll be satiated, and I'll be buying a lot of, not a lot, enough terrible Tom King, Brian Michael Bendis comics just because I'm curious to keep me over. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will see you later. And don't forget to watch out for that Perch video that'll be on later today. Later all.